Hey you, guess what time it is? It's story time. Hey guys, what's up? It's Imurgency and welcome back to my channel. That is right, today is another story time video, and today's video actually isn't very fun. Because of the story, my life has completely changed. I've lost something very near and dear to me that I'll pretty much never get back. Well, actually I did get back, but it's not the same. I'll explain. I guess we'll just come out and say it. This is a story about how I lost my ACL. For those of you who don't know what an ACL is, because to be honest, I didn't before I lost it. It's basically this tendon, I think. It's a ligament, there we go. For basically how my doctor explained it, it's basically like this ligament in your knee that helps you move like in different directions, like cutting to the side or backpedaling, I guess. Or like really walking forward. It really does everything. This whole thing started in April of this year, so 2017. So let me set the scene for the day. I remember that it was a Friday, and that it was the Friday before my school went on spring break. And I was kind of in like a schmood. I wasn't really too happy about it. I don't remember why. Actually, I think I do. It was a test. I think I failed the test. What's new? But anyways, so on that Friday, not only did I have a couple tests, I also had a track party after school because for some reason the track team wanted to celebrate something. I remember clearly that as I was walking to the party, something inside me was telling me not to go. And generally, I'm pretty good at listening to that voice, so I like avoid making bad decisions. Like, emergency. Don't stay with your girlfriend after she gave you a pencil for your anniversary. Don't stay up the night before a test binge watching Stranger Things. Don't make a YouTube channel and tell the internet all your problems. Actually, scratch that last one. But anyways, something was telling me, do not go to this party. But also something was telling me, actually go out and be social for once. So I listened to that other part of me and I went to the party. So I got to the party, and I don't know what you really expect from like a track party, but we basically, from what I got to see, played this game of Capture the Chicken. Oh, Capture the Chicken. I will never play Capture the Chicken again. So Capture the Chicken pretty much has the same premise as Capture the Flag, if you ever played that. There's like two teams and you try to steal each other's flag, but it's with a rubber chicken instead. I'm not sure if you know this, but your boy's a pretty big track star, so he was killing it in Capture the Chicken. I'd like to say that I was carrying the game. I scored like 2 goals, I think. So when I was going for the third goal, I was running up to the chicken trying to go grab it, but then out of the corner of my eye, I see this one lucky girl that changed my life forever, who decided to run up on me. No, not run up on me. I instinctively tried to like run out the way. I tried doing this like weird thing where I tried to like cut to the left to get behind her or something. It kind of looks something like this.
Hey! Oh!
And that was where everything changed. So basically, I didn't know this, but you have a really high chance of tearing your ACL when you try and cut to the side like that. But also, I'll get into this later, but when I talked to my doctor afterwards, he only sees ACL injuries from contact sports like basketball, football, soccer, etc. And I was one of the few people, actually I think he said one of the only people, to tear their ACL from track. Not even track. Capture the Chicken. So when I cut to the left, me and my knee said goodbye. We were no longer together. My knee said, and like that, we were done. So after the separation, I'm still in motion, I'm still running. So with me and my former ACL, I continue to go forward because, you know, that's how motion works. And I basically fly into a wall. I wish I had a video of this happening because this honestly, like in the moment it was not funny, but looking back, that must have been like the funniest thing ever. And I did this in front of my whole track team so they all saw this. So if any of you are watching right now, what's up? Thanks for helping. Or not. And yeah, I basically landed to a wall and I'm just sitting there, knee snap. I didn't cry. I'm proud of myself, I didn't cry. The thing is, like before this, I've never actually gotten injured before. And I've always like seen people with like broken legs and like broken bones and all that. And like they don't cry. And I was wondering like, why don't they do that? And when it actually happened to me, I found out why. Because you're hurting so much that you don't really have like time to cry. So I was just sitting against the wall. Like, I'll try and demonstrate this for you. Like this. Clutching my knee, bent like this. So I was sitting against the wall like this for a good like 2 minutes because no one really noticed that I like slammed into the wall and they were still playing. Like they were like still in their game. Like no one really cared. So I just started screaming and eventually people caught on that I was actually injured. So then they stopped the game. All of my teammates went to the one corner and the coaches came over to me. And my coach is normally super animated and charismatic, just like went blank. Like he was so serious. This is basically our conversation.
Are you okay?
No.
What happened?
I was running, and then I think my knee snapped.
Your knee snapped?
Yeah. And that was our whole conversation. So then he went to go call over our athletic trainer because we have an athletic trainer at our school. And lucky me, our athletic trainer wasn't even there that day. So we had to call my dad. My dad was there in like 10 minutes, wasn't that dramatic, but like in that time, we had to like get me up off the floor and get me like actually in a position where I could move again. So the two coaches that were comforting me, I guess, went and tried to pick me up. And let's just say that it didn't work the first few times. While they were like carrying me to like the bleachers, I remember feeling like the lower half of my leg and the rest of my body feeling like separated. Like I could actually feel like, I don't know how to describe this. Okay, imagine like this is my leg and this is the rest of my body. It was kind of doing like this, kind of like flopping. So we got there, my dad showed up and he brought me to the ER. The whole time between me arriving in the ER and me getting like an actual bed was about like 15-20 minutes, which I'm pretty surprised about because I hear generally it's like much longer, which is kind of surprising because it's an emergency room. So eventually a doctor came in, and this whole time while I've been going through everything, I've been in the same position. I've been like curled up in a ball with like my knee in my hands like I showed you guys before, which apparently wasn't the right thing to do because that gives you the potential to develop blood clots. Who knew? So he basically had to pry my hands off my knee because Lord knows I wasn't about to give that up. And he had to like press down on my leg to straighten it out. Now let me tell you that hurt a lot. I'm not gonna cry. Wait, no, I did that. I'm not gonna lie. I did cry for that. Even though like my leg felt like it was already broken, it felt like it was breaking it into smaller pieces, if that makes sense. So he straightens my leg, puts me in a leg brace, and gives me an x-ray. He says the x-ray won't be back for a few days, but if he had a best guess, it would probably be that I tore my patellar tendon, which thank God I did not, because tearing your patellar tendon is much worse than tearing your ACL. Basically, if you tear your patellar tendon, your kneecap ends up somewhere in your thigh. Under that assumption, he says that I should not be walking on it at all until I get my x-ray back. Fast forward a few days, I get my x-ray back, shows nothing, which is strange because my knee was super swollen. I'll probably attach a picture somewhere here of what it looked like at the time. And as you can see, it's pretty swollen. So there had to have been something wrong. My doctor suggests that I go see an orthopedic doctor to get like a professional consult or whatever. We get to the doctor. He basically tells me that I probably tore my patellar tendon and that I most likely won't ever walk or run the same way again, which is super scary because for a runner that basically sounds like you're dying. That's really dramatic, but whatever. So I get super scared and he says like there's only one way to tell for sure if I tore my patellar tendon, and that is to get an MRI. I want to thank my doctor so much. Dr. Battaglia, if you're watching, thank you. You're a real one. So in order to get an MRI, you need to hop on a wait list, which can either last from like 1 week to like a few months. This man gets me an MRI the next day, which is basically unheard of. We went to the MRI place and the staff there were saying, wow, this like never happens. We never get someone with such a fast turnaround. He must have put in like an emergency order or something, like it was super important. So again, thank you. So I get my MRI. The results come back a few days later and it says that I did not tear my patellar tendon, thank God. And then I just tore my ACL, which is still bad, but it's not as bad as patellar tendon. With that information, I was given two decisions. I could either one, go the non-surgical route and basically just like walk it off, I guess. Or I can go to the surgical route where I'd get surgery, go through the whole process, have an ACL, go through physical therapy, and be close to how I was before I tore my ACL. So naturally, I went for the surgical route. Thing is, my ACL was gone. They needed to get it from somewhere. So I took out of my patellar tendon, which is basically this part of your leg. I waited like a month to actually get surgery. I was on crutches for a month in between, which sucked. But then surgery day happened. So let me give you the lowdown on ACL surgery. At first, and pre-op, it wasn't that bad. They gave me my little cap and gown. I took a few Instagram pics. It was pretty fire. They gave me my IVs and I was like, oh, okay, this is all right. But then, the arguably worst part of the surgery, they said, in order to give me my anesthesia, they need to shoot me in my groin. They need to give me a shot, a needle this big in my groin. They need to shoot me in my groin. Needles are never supposed to be there. So naturally, I was freaking out, but I can't really remember actually getting shot. They said that they shot me, but I can't remember because they gave me a light dose of anesthesia before then. I must have been really geeking off the gas there because they knocked me out, thankfully. But I did get shot in the groin. And actually, after surgery, I had a friend that tore her ACL and got surgery, and she told me that they didn't shoot her in the groin. So what? But yeah, I went under, woke up, surgery went smoothly. If I can, I'll include a little clip of me waking up and saying a few things because I was still on anesthesia.
Just got done with surgery. I'm kind of loopy right now, but like, it's all good. You know, thanks for supporting me. I like the card that you guys got me. Keep doing what you're doing. I hope you guys win the States.
But I think you're done.
I was a little schmazz. So after surgery was recovery, and I basically stayed home. I was on some pretty heavy drugs for the first, I think, 2 weeks for pain and numbness because it was kind of like a battle of both. I forgot to mention this before, but the expected recovery time for an ACL injury spans from like 6 months to a year. I'm still recovering right now, and it's been, well, since May. Before I got surgery, my doctor was saying that this would be like one of the most painful things I've ever experienced in my life. And I was like, I don't believe you. And looking back, it's not the surgery itself that is the most painful. It's the multiple months afterwards that is the pain. And it's not just physical pain either. It's psychological, social, basically everything. Everything hurts. You get like the general physical pain from like recovering, but you also get like the mental pain from like taking the meds. It basically makes your mood do like a 180. I know it's like a side effect of the medication, but like, that's pain. So after recovery, I was back on crutches for like a good couple weeks. Right as I got back, it was like spring finals season. So in that time, I was hopping off the Percocets and hopping right back on those textbooks to study for finals. Now that's like a little bit of a lie. I was still taking a few heavy medications that were causing like drastic mood swings still. So I powered through, took my finals. They were pretty okay. And then school was done. I didn't really have anything to worry about school-wise, so I could focus on my recovery. So during those 3 months of summer, I was going to physical therapy 3 times a week for about like an hour and a half, which was death, but we got through it. I got most of my range of motion back. So fast forward 5 months and you have what you have today. It is the Imurgency, the new and improved Imurgency. I got that new tendon in my ACL. I'll actually show you my scar right now. So this is a scar I have now after surgery. It's pretty gnarly. It's just like a big line down here. So right now I still can't run. I can do like a little bit of jumping and most of my range of motion is back. It's still like an active process. So I'm still going to physical therapy. I'm still doing exercises to get that strength back because my leg was a stick after surgery and I'm still working through it thanks to the support networks that I have. So the story does not have a definite ending because I'm still working through it, but I hope you still enjoyed this story. I know it's a little long, but like, it was a lot. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button right here. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more story times like this, be sure to hit that like button down below. And if you didn't, be sure to hit that little bell icon to turn my post notifications on so you know whenever I post next. Also, comment down below if you want to know any more information about this whole thing because I did skip over a lot. Or if you got injured yourself, we can have a little injured people pity party down in the comments below. But other than that, guys, thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you guys later.